sort of on time, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully. Let me make sure there's actually... Yeah, are we recording? What's going on here? Anyway, I hope... This is a real B&H murder. Welcome to Movie Crap Live. How is it going, all? Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, let's play the song again. Let's let the song play out again. I need to release that song by itself so people can enjoy it. I will send out the thing. Thank you very much. Cornbread's very helpful, by the way. Okay, I want to say, first thanks to Cornbread. Been very helpful today. As well as Bloxy Oxenwinkle, Caden the Wolf Fox, Javier Portello, Super Adusky, Nathaniel Fogo, Purple Goop, Chan Talks More Movies. I think I saw Austin in there somewhere earlier. I don't... Did they both post? They both did. Go away, both of you. Okay, anyway. Javier Portello. We got a good crowd tonight. Yeah, how are y'all doing? I guess I should switch to the thing here. Sorry I was a little late. I was Oh, Ryan Walterson. Hello. The man, the myth, the legend. Hey, here we are in the kitchen. I did a whole lighting setup. I actually could have maybe started on time, I realized at a certain point, but then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck around with some shit. I'm gonna do something interesting. Austin was here earlier. Yeah. Oh, imagine Kevin James in Minecraft. Blart Jockey. I love it. I love it. And if we didn't know, the winner of the energy drink clue was Cornbread. He did not pick the right flavor, as this is orange mango. This is what... Oh, wait. Where's my... Sorry. I can't even see if anybody's seeing what I'm seeing. This is orange mango. Don't quit. I just saw it. I was like... There's a store near me that has a bunch, and I was like, I should get this one. And they didn't have the red one. I would have gotten the red one. But I thought, don't quit. It says energy hydration. It says clean hydrating coconut water, which is good for you. Kevin Jockey. I like Blart Jockey, but Kevin Jockey, Ryan, is a good... Blart Jockey, I guess Kevin Jockey would make more sense. But Blart Jockey, that just has that immediate feel. Anyway, cheers to you for the first super chat of the night, Bloxy Oxenwinkle. All right. I wish I'd gone with the red one. Put this over here. But I love the don't quit. It's all right. It's all right. Don't quit idea. My little area, light area I made here. I'm proud of it. I guess be. Oh, Mario Karting. You know, I'm very upset to hear Dry Bowser isn't in the new Mario Kart, but I haven't really looked into it. If that is true, that's some bullshit. Trying to see. Since when was the last time? I don't remember. Isn't this the second one we've done in April? I did drink coconut water today, actually. It really does help. But this month has been kind of insane in terms of videos, because I don't know if anyone realized this, but ever since of this month, although it says I skipped a day, but I don't know, of this month, I guess the only day I really missed was April 2nd, and every other day has had either a video or a short or a live stream or something like that. So it's actually been a very prolific month. I've gotten like a lot of stuff out, believe it or not. And yeah, since the 3rd, which I guess is, hold on, I'm using, because I don't even remember. Ever since the blind movie tier list, it's been straight a video every day or something every day. So I'm kind of hoping to, even though I know that Godzilla Roar, I'm making Kermit look like a... Is he King Arthur? So I've been proud of that. There's a lot of projects, you know, you want to get out there, and I did that, and I didn't think I'd have this long of a streak. I don't know if I'll have one tomorrow, but I know I will not have anything on Sunday. Not because it's Easter and there's a lot going on, and I just want to be tired. But that's a pretty good run. I've never had a run like that in a long time, so I was kind of surprised. Even though that Godzilla Roar thing was silly, but there was another video that came out that day, so I feel good about that. Other than that, trying to think anything that happened. I don't know. Well, first off, kind of going in on common side effects. I've watched the whole thing, and I want to do a review, and I'm sort of like rewatching it and really thinking about it, and I really want to do a good thing. I'm not a big series review person because I like to rewatch. You're still not used to me with a beard. It's been a little bit, but I understand. How's it going? I haven't seen you in a little bit. The Yeah, I just really want to get into it, but I don't love reviewing series because it's like you watch them once a week, but then like the experience, I don't know, it's weird, and then I want to rethink about it and do a good job, and I just feel like it ends up being more work than it probably needs to be. Hey, Will is here, but Common Side Effects, amazing show, and I'm listening to there's someone made a playlist on Spotify, and maybe I'll share it in the Discord. It's all their kind of cool disco music, and I am loving that playlist, and I found the actual themes, like actual score thing, and I love the theme song. So I've been like really into Common Side Effects, and I want to do Oh My God Yes after that, which is weird. I've been getting weird responses. People are like, why haven't you done more with this show and all this stuff a few times. I am going to do a season review. I wanted to do a short, but the short reviews are always, I need to do them better. But comments, I think about it all the time. I fucking love that show. Joe Bennett is really becoming one of the best animators of this decade. Who really, I'd never heard of this. I've never heard of this. Wait, there's an ad already? Really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I forgot. And I've been hearing so much about the Daredevil show. And, I watched it sort of when I was talking to a friend, so I didn't watch it. And then I was like, you know what? I have to, fold laundry, or, I had to tie a bunch of string for a project that was running at work and stuff. And I was like, I'll just put it on, let's see if I like it. And, I actually really like it a lot. It's sort of my part laundry show, part, I'm just chilling out show. I don't think I'd review it, but, it's really good, and it's really smart, and it's interesting. The only thing I'll say about review thing is how they do Kingpin is interesting, because so many people are like, oh, he's Trump, oh, he's Eric Adams, and I was watching, I was like, he's not either of those guys. He's still the Kingpin, and also probably helped that story was written before all that stuff. But I will say I really like how that show, every time you think it's going to talk about something topical, which I think most shows and most dramas would do, it does its own shit, and I fully respect that because it's always doing interesting. So far, I'm 2 episodes deep, and most of them I watched sort of at a party, so I'm into it. But yeah, oh man, yeah, Joe Bennett and what he's doing with his company and Scavenger's Reign, and it's also the cool thing about. Sorry, this is me just gushing on these shows, but. Zane Powers and Austin are playing Mario Kart. Look at that shit. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, cartoons are cool. I don't think I have anything. Me and the kids, I've been watching Speed Racer, and I'm sort of want to get to the point where we've seen all of them and then watch the live action Speed Racer. I know Patrick Williams is having a Speed Racer movie review, but I almost want to watch all Speed Racer and then rewatch it and see how it changed my perspective. Maybe do a quick what's it like seeing all of Speed Racer. But I haven't seen are there other Speed Racer shows that influence it? I haven't looked into that, but man, that is a weird fucking show. Never the same shit over and over again. I can't think of. There's probably something else. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is not I didn't really. I'm just surviving on this crazy world. And all that stuff. I don't think I have anything else. Where's my... Sorry, I feel like this is me I saw a show. Alright, let's do 2 pieces of trivia I actually think are interesting. Well, there's sort of 2 things that are movie related that are not part of the main topics I just want to mention. We're going to say this is the trivia section. One, and I post this on Blue Sky, but I find it super interesting actually. And I saw it on Bulletin Blockbusters did it, and I read about it other places. I did not know, trigger warning, chicken jockey, hello World's Worst Artist. I didn't know that, so when they're making The Matrix, and they're casting, and everyone knows, the Will Smith thing, and Keanu got casted, and all that shit. But then, I didn't know that apparently, they actually just really wanted Johnny Depp, and, Thank you, Juan. I tried this time. I tried. They really wanted Johnny Depp, and they kept pushing for him. And the studio was like, "No, Johnny Depp's not a movie star." Which in '99 he really wasn't. You really have to fuck around with. He really was like an indie guy, and he was sort of weird, and like the studios were not sold. It was pre-Pirates. But anyway, like that's what the casting was really about: is how can we get Johnny Depp, and then Keanu sort of convince them. But it's funny is like if you hear anyone, they would talk about the Will Smith part, and the actual story is about Johnny Depp, which I found was like interesting. Like, oh, the Will Smith thing happened. It's not a lie or anything. It's just like if you're doing the overarching story of that casting, they were more like in the offices, like, but how can we convince them to get Johnny Depp, who would not have been good as Neo? That was a terrible idea. I'm glad that didn't happen. The other thing is Ryan Coogler, who I'm a big fan of, and we're doing no, Johnny Depp. I love '90s Johnny Depp. Once he becomes a movie star, it gets a little not as good. But we're doing Ryan Coogler's first short film tonight as a segment. But I wanted to mention how his video he made it's on Kodak's YouTube channel. I might share it later. That is really awesome because he goes through every format Sinners is available in and explains the deal with it and how he tried to make sure him and his team made sure it was optimized for each of these formats. I've never seen a filmmaker spend 10 minutes explaining fucking everything. It's really great. And he's really good at it. And I thought it's cool. And I liked his WTF interview. And I'm a Coogler fan. I think he's a super interesting guy. But how he broke down that. And also, by the way, bring up how he likes cartoons and he likes animation and influences work. Like, I know Michael B. did that. I've never heard him mention that before. Maybe he did. But Michael B. was very much like, I'm influenced by anime. It's cool that Coogler's doing the same and they're being like, hey, I am influenced by animation. The more live-action directors should mention that, other than Spielberg did. But, yeah. Of the videos that came out in this long stretch of stuff, they're all there. Go watch them. I don't mind doing those toy things where you get can't spell Coogler without cool. That's true. What was I saying? Oh, I can't think of anything. I might do more of those, like if I see two movies in one night kind of things. I wish I had filmed what I ate. I thought that was a mistake, but I liked it overall, and I'm also happy. By the way, y'all as an audience are so like I'm not trying to placate or something, but like that like walking time lapse thing. I was like, maybe this is sort of dumb, and it's sort of just a thing I came up with and used my own music, and it's sort of all me and creative and stuff. And it did really well, and I really got to thank the audience, you guys, for checking that out and being willing to go all the different places I upload and come up with different things for. So I really appreciate it. It's really, really thankful because most people on YouTube are like, I have to do this thing or the audience will leave. And you guys are not like that. You guys check out everything. And if, oftentimes if a video has lower views or something, I notice that maybe it's in your watch laters or something, but you guys catch up with it. So I really got to thank you for that because I have noticed that when I do weird stuff, people check it out. So thank you. That's really cool. I won't do too many of the toy sound things, but they're kind of fun. I kind of Woody Woodpecker and Godzilla. There is a second Godzilla video ready to go, but I don't know how many more I'll do, but it's fun. But anyway, I just want to thank you all for that because I do really appreciate it. I've never said that about you all as an audience. You guys are willing to do that. Thank you, World's Worst Started. I don't know if I met you before, but I hope you're doing all right. All right. Oh, throwbacks. Ex Machina was Monday. Friday, I think, is Vampire Hunter D. That is back in theaters, and I think that came out in the 80s, whatever anniversary that is. It could also because Sinners. And then on Sunday, I'm going to do a review of the film, old review, probably from the first year of this channel, called Grass. It is obviously it's on the Sunday for the 420 thing, and that's originally it was like a 420 video. It's not a weed movie. It's just called Grass. It's sort of like it was, oh, hey, Grant Lewis. It's sort of a surprise, motherfuckers. It's a silent film documentary, but it's by Marion C. Cooper, and it's actually sort of influential because, to fully explain, we'll do it. Okay, sorry, I'm like running late, and I'm like, whatever. I'll explain this to you so you get what the deal is with this. It's basically Marion C. Cooper, who made King Kong. The story of King Kong is about them making a documentary. And Marion C. Cooper actually did do stuff like that before King Kong. It's sort of based on him, believe it or not. And if you don't know much about silent I'll do this quick. I'm so sorry. If you don't know much about silent comedy, silent documentary, at first when he did it, this film Grasses, he actually went on this adventure and did this thing and went on this huge migration and learned about it, and he was an adventurer. But then when Nanook of the North happened, Nanook of the North isn't real. They like, it's all like made up, and they like had the guy do all this stuff and like made set scenes and stuff, but it was a huge hit, and so documentaries all had to be like that after that. And then I think they made a film between Grass and Kong, but so they had to do this other format, which is like sort of reality show-ish, if we're being honest. And Grass is like they actually went on an adventure, and that would then go influence King Kong, which is sort of about a filmmaker showing a land in a documentary setting. So it is sort of actually influential. It's sort of a forgotten piece of film history. I've always been proud of the video. It has a lot of dumb Final Cut effects. So if you want to watch that, it'll be on Sunday, on Easter. Probably not doing the Cletus the Fetus thing this year, or maybe next year. You can watch that one though. All right, sorry about all of that. Let's get into it in terms of the Patreon, and then we'll get into the stuff. Sorry for the wait. All right, so this and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through Super Chats during the show, where I'll drink the Don't Quit energy thing, which will keep me not quitting, and I would appreciate it because taxes were a little rough for us, as well as the Patreon, which helps me be able to be able to do what I do and continue to do what I do because I'm supported by you, the fans. You get all sorts of cool stuff, exclusive stuff, including my commentary series. I have 2 videos come out recently. There's even going to be a throwback to my special Ryan Coogler episode of Movie Stuff, my public access show, that I'm gonna have. That episode keeps re-airing. It re-aired during Wakanda Forever. I don't know if they're gonna re-air it for Sinners. I have not spoke to them in a long time, and I only found out about it because people told me. So I actually don't know if it did or not. But in the spirit of it, apparently keep airing on Brooklyn Free Speech, I will share it just for patrons only. But you get all sorts of access stuff, like you can have access to my public access show. You can have access to my commentary series. You get a lot of stuff, as well as you help me be able to do this stuff, make flyers and stickers. The flyers have really been working, so you giving me the money to continue to do this. And if you want more videos and more kind of stuff, it only helps me to do that further. And I thank you very much to do so if you're financially able to. If not, just liking this video. And liking this video always helps. Subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. Telling or yelling at your friend, what are you doing with your life? Jim's making these videos, and you're just like talking about the chicken jockey. This guy is going to say the funniest chicken jockey thing. You wait. It probably won't be. But he won't know that until he'll be disappointed and unsubscribed forever. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Anyway, just tell your friends. Sorry, this is dumb. Anyway, if you're financially not able to, and you're just watching and just come here once a week or whatever, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Chicken Jockey, Super Dusky. Cheers to you, sir. What was that? Well, okay. Where are we? Okay. Also, the Discord, which is wonderfully run by Austin, Zane Powers, Ryan Walterson, Cornbread. Got it. They do all sorts of cool stuff, like licensed playing card channel. I have these cards back because I lost my Lilo and Stitch ones. These were posted before. All sorts of cool licensed playing card posts, including any video licensed playing card. I'm trying to make sure is in there. As well as the general chat where I ask things like, what do you want me to talk about? On Movie Crap, they do movie watches. Doing a goofy movie. Cornbread does his thumbnail predictions. It's a great community, and if you like the chat and me talking to them, and you're like, I would like to hang out with these people, you can anytime you want. Just click on the Discord below, as well as I have a Blue Sky, which is I'm most active at Twitter, which is just the video posts, Tumblr, Facebook fan page, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, and yes. It's been a long day, and I'm ready to chill with y'all. All right, so the Chicken Jockey. I think we're ready to talk about the Minecraft movie. We're going to talk about box office and Minecraft at the beginning, and then we'll move on because it's. I don't want to like sandwich out the Minecraft. Let's do the fucking Minecraft here. Let's do this shit. So there's been a lot of debate on the chicken jockey scene because of what happened when the chicken jockey shows up. The kids get crazy. They're disrupting the ambiance, the subtle nuance of the multiplex because of the chicken jockey scene and their obsession with being loud and shit. Here, my thing with this is, and look, I understand being respectful of cinema. I feel bad for the people who have to clean up that shit. I've seen it just in a regular scene. It looks horrible. And if they're really making a mess, I guess I'm not really for that because that sucked. But here's the thing. This is the fucking Minecraft movie, man. They're not watching fucking Bergman running in doing the chicken jockey. If you did that, that would be funny. But don't do that. Just do that in Minecraft movie. What to be honest, I think it is okay to have fun at the movies. And there's sometimes the movie's dumb and you want to make a dumb joke to your friend. I went to UA Court Street, legendarily loud movie theater, which I need to do a tribute to at some point. But it is people need to wake the fuck up, because here's the thing I've noticed about people. Now, if you have one theater in your town and people talk, there's not much you can do about it, and I understand that, and that sucks. If you're seeing the Minecraft movie, though, that's kind of like a dumb, silly movie. No offense to it, I haven't seen it yet, but it's a big populist kind of thing. If people want to be rowdy and have fun, that's fine. But the thing is if you know what theater is being loud, and you like, I used to go to the movies a lot more than I do now because of the kids and stuff, but I used to end up going, so I'd go right after work, and there every year I'd notice, oh, this is the Friday like school got out, so there's like a million kids and they're going nuts and it's crazy. But the thing is like I knew that, so when I saw like The Conjuring 2, it was crazy, but I knew like, oh, they just got out of school for the summer, so this is gonna be a nuts screening. And so it's like at a certain point, like it's not like it was a calm, still theater, and then it gets crazy. I fully expect these kids were talking. Like, you should know. I don't know. The chicken jockey scene, I don't get the impression it's like the first scene or something. Maybe it is, and then Jack Black falls on the ground, and then it has a narration and goes, "You're probably wondering how I got here." Maybe it is, but to me, it's just like people can have fun. The chicken in the theater was a bit extreme, but look, I take chickens to movies all the time, so I get it. It can get a little rowdy. No, but it's just like, it's like there's some times where it is funny. I rarely see it done in a film where it's like super artful and I've heard people who would go to like the dumb multiplex to see Tree of Life and be like, people weren't the best behaved. I'm like, motherfucker, we live in New York. Go to an art theater. What are you doing here? Like, I'm sorry, like, you love cinema but know nothing about the movie theater scene. That's wonderful. But to me, it's like, you know what's up. Don't go to the screening. Like, if you don't want kids to be there in general, don't go to the screening that happens right when school gets out. Go later, or, if it's not your thing. But to me, it's just like, cinema can be many different things, and like, it can, to me, it can be No Other Land, and it can be The Day the Earth Blew Up, and that's like cinema right now. That's movies to me. It's like those two were the two great movies I've seen so far this year, and that's cinema. It's all these different things at the same time. But like, we can't have this thing where like, oh well, everything needs to be done in this precious way and it's all that stuff. I get it, but like, they're not doing this at Anora. They're not doing it. This is a critically acclaimed movie. They're doing it. It's like, this is their movie. This is their age group's movie. This is this movie that represents something to them. People, treat Marvel movies like they're rock concerts too. Just like, be chill with it. Now I understand, like, if there's a chick in there and you're a little kid, that's probably pretty freaked, and it probably surprises people and stuff. But at this point, we know about it. I think it's just like, just be cool. It's like, they're not like putting their friend on their shoulders, running around the theater and bursting into other movies, screaming chicken jockey. They're staying in there. I went to Rocky Horror. I've definitely, said dumb things during movies when I was a kid. Just like let people have fun, because you know what? If they have fun, they had a great time. They're going to talk about going back. That's what we need right now. We don't need to be. I know, and there's all sorts of issues with like the when people attack people talking movies. There is a certain element of classism and racism and things like that people don't really talk about. I mean, 100% classism. I hate to break it to you, but if you're going to an Alamo Draft House, you pretty much have to have a lot more money than a normal person who goes to the movies, because you're not, I see the people who go to Regal and I see the people who go to Alamo Draft House, and they ain't the same. And regardless of Alamo's cool thing, even though they did, had a strike that went on for most of the fucking year so far. But to me, it's just like Alamo Draft House is a morally mess of a company. But like, be cool about it. It's fucking Minecraft. Like, what do I just don't understand. Like, are we acting like blockbusters aren't cinema, but suddenly Minecraft is cinema, but also not cinema? No, there's no consistency in terms of this argument. Let kids have fun at the movies, because they will come back. There's a kid probably, he did the Minions movie in a suit. He saw, the Barbenheimer double features. They're seeing the Minecraft movie. We need people to come to the theaters, and we need people to have good cinematic experiences. And I know you're going like, well, what about the old people who see all the movies? I'm like, well, those people are coming back. Who the fuck cares about them? I care about these kids who are 19, 16, and they go, oh man, I had the greatest time at the Minecraft movie. And then they'll see Superman. And then they'll see Fantastic Four. And then they'll, if they're bored, see Thunderbolts. I don't know. But point is like, they will see other ads for the movies. It's been 100% shown when a big movie hits, other movies benefit from that. We need to be thinking about that. We need to be thinking about the power of cinema. But to me, it's just like, kids have fun at the movies. Kids do dumbass shit at the movies. Let people have fun at the movies. All right? It's totally healthy. It's totally fine. Just don't bring your fucking chicken. And that one you should know. And try to clean it. Don't be a fucking dick. You can yell stuff, but don't throw popcorn at people. If you're going to throw it at your friends, try to clean it up. You can... Anyway. I'm just saying, I don't mind. I'm chill about that. Just don't, if you're I also agree with, like, there's talking movies like I'm going to take a phone call, but if you're talking with the movie, that's like part of the experience. Look, I like Mystery Science Theater. I'll talk in movies as much as I fucking want, all right? And like, I'm not gonna, in no other land I wasn't doing that, and Mickey 17, actually that's what I should do, like, subscribe to my channel. This movie sucks, you better hear what I say. That's what I should do. No. But it's just, everyone, but it's my emotional support chicken. You know what I learned about the emotional support thing? You cannot ask, like, you could say that about any animal, and in most states they have to be like, okay. I've heard that before. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But that's a good one, Zane Powers. That's a good Zane Powers joke. Cheers to you, sir. All right. Speaking of which, it's also cool that Jared Hess had a big hit. Can we all agree that's cool? I think that's cool. All right, let's talk about the box office, because Minecraft is actually majorly helping the box office, and I'm not trying to be like cynical, because we are back, baby. One thing is we are finally, the box office is not better than both. It's both better than the post-COVID world, which is something we've all been finding, because for a long time this year we're doing worse than last year, which was like not good. And now, because of Minecraft, we're actually doing ahead of even like pre-COVID. So it is like very, very good. In fact, Minecraft is sort of saving cinema right now. In terms of box office and business, things were not good, and it's doing us a fucking favor to be 100% with you. So we need to bring that up. It is currently the second biggest video game movie, both adjusted and unadjusted for inflation. It is the highest grossing movie of the year right now, in domestically, internationally. That animated Chinese movie, obviously. Um, and it's the fourth. How it outgrows King Kong for Jack Black. Um, I um, I think it is really good for. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie, so anything I'm saying is not based on any sort of. I will see it and I will review it, but it's good as well as we've had some good openings. Number two last weekend was The King of Kings, which is animated but it's a religious thing, making $19 million. The Amateur, also $14 million, and then the top five were all like healthy things. Warfare with 8, Drop with 7. That's really good. The other thing that's actually interesting, and I think we talked about a little that show, The Chosen, which is a religious show, and they put The Last Supper Part 3. What the fuck? How long is this fucking supper? Is this like My Dinner with Andre? And like Judas is like, oh man, have you read the latest scroll, bro? It's like crazy. No, I like each of the apostles or whatever has a scene. That's probably what it's like. Anyway, so it's Last Supper Part 2, Last Supper Part 3. How is that so long? I don't understand. What are they fucking eating in this Last Supper? I mean, I guess it's the last one, so you better enjoy yourself. What I did learn from one box as an analyst I didn't know is apparently all of the Chosen together has actually made over $100 million or close to $100 at the box office. So as much as we're probably just looking at the Chosen and go whatever religious people, it actually shows something that could become more of a possibility if like Disney Plus decided like, hey, you want to watch those first three Andors that are coming out, you can go see them in IMAX or you can go see them in the theater a day before or something, and then you can, that or something like that. A lot of people have suggested that. I'm a little surprised the Chosen hasn't spawned off more of that stuff, but it'd be, um, I. I don't know. It's interesting that the box office success of that. When I heard the 100 million thing, I was like, why aren't they doing more of that? Because it's sort of easy money, and you can get another revenue stream. And I think, or if you did like, hey, you want to see the Stranger Things premiere a week early, or I don't know the difference between when it airs and when it plays in theaters, but The Chosen. But I really do think you could hear more of that. And I know, like Game of Thrones played some of their bigger episodes in IMAX, but we could be seeing more movies going straight to, or more shows doing the theatrical thing. I know people are now talking because of this, or more discussion of like, what if football was in movie theaters? What if this? What if that? They have done that. It's never been super successful. So I guess the thing is like obviously people bring their church groups, but if things like anime or TV shows and stuff really can be able to do it, you could see more of these things. I don't know who will be adventurous enough to do that. Um, but I think it would be cool if you just did a premiere or something, or however the Chosen does it based on wherever that fucking thing. Does anyone know where that airs? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, Austin says people pay good money to see this movie. When they go out to a theater, they want cold sodas, hot popcorn, and no monsters in the projection booth. Do I have to come up there myself? Is that Hulk Hogan's thing from Gremlins? I think it is. That was good. Gremlins 2 rules. Anyway, if you I would pay money to see Austin yell that at people doing the chicken jockey thing. I don't want to see Minecraft. I want to see Austin yelling at kids having popcorn fights about chicken jockey. I don't think they'll listen though, but sorry folks, what happened again? Thanks, Ryan. All right, cheers to you, Austin. That was good. That was good. Anyway, if anyone's saying the box office isn't working out or anything like that, we're actually in a good place. I wanted to bring that up at the beginning because everyone's like, oh, what's going to happen to movies and stuff. We're in a good thing. My only thing of this is I'm very surprised we're not hearing more video game movies being announced. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's the new IP thing. I honestly have never gotten why Hollywood took so long to do this, because in my mind, like, just I also don't understand. I don't know, part of me is like, what games could get this kind of box office? I've heard only on Reddit I found actually, which I don't normally read, but I was like, where's the Fortnite movie? I fully expect some studio is like bullishly trying to get the Fortnite movie because that is such a huge property. And I think there's like a story there or something. I don't know. I've never played that shit. But if there is a story there, I don't know. I think it would be kind of a cool um, thing to do. I don't know, but I mean, how many video game properties? I think like if Donkey Kong, I don't understand why they put that character in Mario, because that to me is like a separate movie. But maybe they'll do a spin-off later. But I do think we'll see this. As I think we're past the point of no return. This is like when Spider-Man hit, and the studio's like, all right, I think we should be making more of these video game movies. But I don't see how many. I don't know. I mean, the Zelda movie's happening, and there's certain things, but I do think we're gonna see in the next decade it's gonna become more bullish about this stuff. But we'll see. But I am surprised we're not hearing more about a Fortnite movie and other major, all audience kind of video game things. I do think the smaller ones, you'll have smarter executives doing things like that. But we'll see. No, I know Mario and Donkey Kong are intertwined, but I just like Donkey Kong's, you know, Donkey Kong's got his own shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. And Luigi could have his own movie where he, like, just pops off fucking healthcare executives. The other thing is, it's crazy that Matt Berry was the first choice for Minecraft, and What We Do in the Shadows wouldn't allow him to do it, and then their second choice was Jack Black. I was like, wait, so Matt Berry was I don't know. I kind of wish it had been Matt Berry. I think that would have been cool, but oh well. All right. This came out today, like the day that is right now, that fixed Genndy Tarkovsky's comedy animated movie about a dog who finds out he's going to be neutered tomorrow is going to be at Netflix. I think we had heard. I mean, a lot of people were worried if this was ever going to come out, but I think it's pretty cool. But I don't know. I think it's cool to do him doing an kind of an animated comedy. I'm curious about that, but it is really interesting looking at the actual design, because it seems like sort of weird and a little more like, I don't know. I don't want to say Ren and Stimpy influence, but like that kind of style and stuff. I really like it, but I'm happy. August 13th we're getting it. I'm happy it's getting a real release. But we'll see what. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how people deal with this, and if people are going to be cool about it and all that stuff. But I am disappointed I won't get to see this on the big screen, because after seeing The Day the Earth Blew Up with the animation on the big screen, how beautiful it looked on the big screen, I'm disappointed I can't do that. Maybe it'll play at there's a theater in New York that does Netflix movies sometimes. If it gets selected, I might actually do that. We'll see. But I'm just happy for Genndy, because I think we've all wanted sort of a movie that's just his thing, and I think he has earned that right as a director, and I think I'm curious what this film will be. But hey, props to Netflix for actually getting it out. I mean, I know most people want to see it in theaters, but at the same time, like, I just want to fucking see it. Like, that's the problem now. That is the issue we have now. Is like, did it happen, and can we see it? Did it not get canceled? Is it not a tax write-off? Like, that is a shitty position that we're in the animation community, but that's what it is. Anyway, Will, hey, what's up, man? Said, the news surrounding Genndy Tarkovsky's fix is a legit triumph for art. Very true, man. Insane to me that the movie began development in 2017 and is finally coming out now. Cause for celebration. Yeah, Black Knight as well, man. I was thinking about the Black Knight. I was like, if this Netflix thing's working, because Max, if I was Warner's, I do not understand me. I do not understand how Genndy, if you were running a studio, wouldn't you just be like, Genndy, here you go? Because his stuff is his stuff that expensive? Like, Sony made a franchise for you, motherfucker. Anyway, I hope this does well. I hope it, maybe he gets an Oscar nomination and stuff, It does suck that, didn't The Day the Earth Blew Up campaigned last year, so it can't get nominated this year? So, hey, fixed, maybe Elio will only be okay, and it can, like, if it gets a nomination, that'd be crazy if we can talk about Genndy Tarkovsky, Oscar-nominated animation director. He deserves it. But I hope it's good. I like the design. Like one of the few, so many animated things I see nowadays. I'm like, I don't know about that. But that motherfucker's good at design. I'm very excited for that. Anyway, sorry, Will. Cheers to you, man. I'm glad you're here tonight. Cheers to you. No, Kermit, no. Okay. But I do like that Gendy's getting to do different stuff, and so I like that he doesn't just do he his post Primal stuff does not feel like he is the director of Primal. It feels like he's Genndy doing his own thing, and I respect. He deserves it. He deserves it. But I'm excited for Fix. I think it'll be cool. Will it be better than Strays? Who knows? I ain't seeing that shit. Um. Oh, you're counting out Zootopia too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Genndy will win. I just want to get the. It's like same with Wallace and Gromit. I just wanted the nomination to happen. Just get him nominated. Let's do that. All right, the bigger. I think this is probably the biggest movie news thing since last show, was that the category for best stunt design was announced for the Oscars. It'll be for the 2020. Hey, Ace the Windrider, the 2027 year of movies, but be at the 2028 ceremony. I'm very happy about this. We have best casting, which I think is this coming year or something. And then this one, I think that is much better. There's a lot of debate on, one, about the category itself, that the stunt community, I know, has had a long argument and discussion about that specifically. Of a couple things is, one, the idea of being a stuntman is to disappear within the movie. And that it's a legitimate thing that their main reason for not wanting to do more award stuff, because you're not supposed to know when it's supposed to be Ryan Gosling or whomever. You're supposed to think, oh, that's that actor. It's not a stuntman. And there was some concern that would ruin that, which is a good argument, I actually think. And this was the stunt community felt this, not everyone, but I actually talked to stuntman, and we talked about that, and they actually did say that. As well as there's a fear that people start upping the ante to win this award. But again, no one's won it yet. So much like I love Oscar prognosticating, where they just make some shit up and they go, I mean, this could happen. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess it could, motherfuckers, but it didn't, so we don't know. I think that's a possibility as well, though. But what I do think will happen is, one, we'll see probably some films that have more stunt sequences that might be a little more prestige probably get greenlit by studios until we kind of solidify and find out what this category really is. We'll also see more popular movies being nominated, which I think the Oscars definitely need, and it's something that the audience is very into. My only confusion, and I don't know if anyone in the chat knows what the reason for why they delay these categories for so long, like the specific reason, because I was here like, oh, well, it takes a while to figure these things out and stuff. I'm like, well, what though? I couldn't find that, but I do think that is something people would like to do. Apparently, the one person who was very much behind this was David Leitch. David Leitch really, in the last in a post, I think it was post what was it, the Ryan Gosling movie he directed. He very much made his thing trying to make this category happen, and he did, and props to him. Obviously, he was a stuntman, so it obviously means more to him, and I'm glad he used his clout to do that. I think that's really cool. But we'll see how it goes. A lot of people, I've heard people say, well, what about John Wick? What about, Tom Cruise? The last Mission Impossible is in Memorial Day, and John Wick 5 is in development. I actually don't think, unless John Wick 5 comes out on 2027, what I honestly think will happen is those are the old school of stunts and movies. We're going to see whatever the new school of stunts and movies is take over. We're not going to see what we perceive as what are cool stunts win. A lot of people said they did this so Secret Wars could be in there. I don't know, but what I think is whoever is going to be the new I'm the big stunt people will then get Oscars and so forth. I think had John Wick been nominated, especially for that fourth one, I do think it probably would have won, because that was so impressive. But at the same time, we don't know, because that category hasn't happened yet. We don't know what's going to be nominated. maybe Universal will actually be cool about. We'll sign off on that last Fast and Furious movie just for this or something. But a lot of people said who should present it, and many people were saying, Tom Cruise and stuff. But I'm like, get Jackie Chan, man. Get Jackie Chan. 100% Jackie Chan. Should always be Jackie Chan presenting. Jackie Chan should just do it until he dies, and then maybe Tom Cruise can do it. But in my mind, it should be Jackie Chan who presents it. I think that would be cool. Or like a stunt person, But yeah, I would like to know what the delay is. Like, what is that about? I don't fully know. So, all right. I think this is the story that most movie shows would not think this is a big deal. But I've noticed in the chat and suggestions this is a story you want me to talk about. So, they're casting Godzilla vs. Kong 3. And Sam Neill, a.k.a. Merlin, has been cast in a Godzilla Kong movie. I think this is cool casting, particularly because of Jurassic Park. But in my mind, he will be Merlin, and Merlin will fight Godzilla and Kong. And I guess Mothra will be there, but they won't advertise him like they did last time. That really happened. Sometimes I make that joke, mention that, and people are like, oh, okay. Like, why was Mothra not advertised? What's going on there? But what I think, like, they're all fighting, and then Merlin casts some crazy ass spell, and they're like, King Kong's in a glass box, and he's like, roar, and Godzilla's trying to atomic blast him, and he's using his Merlin spell. I don't know. What does Merlin even do, dude? I don't know. But, like, Merlin, he's played by the guy in Jurassic Park, not Jeff Goldblum, that other guy. But anyway, it's, I think it's cool casting, but I know people are hyped for me to talk about that casting. It is cool casting. I actually thought it was cool, so I'm excited for that casting. I'm going to take the kids to that, so we'll see Sam Neill, and people are like, oh, he's in Jurassic Park. Remember when he came back to Jurassic Park and that movie was really terrible? It's about fucking locusts. There's probably someone who's watching this who's like, he's just making up movie plots. I am not making up movie plots. Those are the bad movies that Sam Neill is in, and that is unfortunate because Sam Neill rules. He shouldn't be in bad movies. He should only be in cool movies that are not like that. But we'll see. Man, that Locust Jurassic World, what a shit show. All right, it would be cool. They should reference a lot of Merlin. I almost did a Merlin thumbnail, and every time I put it, it was like, I think you guys know the Knockboard short. I don't think if I post that picture, I'm not trying to prove me wrong, audience, but if I post a picture of Sam Neill in the Merlin outfit, you would not have gotten it. So I went with the Jurassic Park. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Sam Neill, who, what's funny about Sam Neill? He was almost James Bond, and they really wanted him to be James Bond, and then he did like a filmed audition, and he was horrible, and then they all went, why did we think that? That was a terrible idea. Like, he was not just, but he was pretty much his until they saw him like act. That's not a joke. I always felt bad for him because that probably sucked. I've heard he say he fucked it up, but yeah, ouch. All right. Christopher Columbus, not the explorer who's dead and racist and a horrible person, but the other horrible. No, I've heard Chris Columbus is nice. The director, Chris Columbus, said, commented actually on the Trump cameo in Home Alone 2. He said, I just wish it was gone. I can't cut it. If I cut it, I'll probably be sent out of the country. I think, first off, I do think they should cover him up with Java, or specifically Rachel Zegler, because I know the conservatives will hate that. But it's always a part like people always boo and stuff. But I do like that this has become a contention because people watch Home Alone 2 a lot. But I'm also like, it's not like a great movie, so like maybe we could just we could just watch Home Alone and like watch this Home Alone 2 as much. But I noticed 90s kids are not. Do not like watching new things. So I think we're all just going to have to deal much like in real life, but or you could just download it yourself and cut them out. I mean, it's not even an important part of the movie. That's the part I find really funny, is like people are like, we should just I wish they'd cut it out. I'm like, I mean, you could just fast forward. I don't. Anyway, it is funny he mentioned it. But how about in the chat, you guys come up with what do you think could replace Trump? Who would be the best person? Mine are Jabba and Rachel Zegler. Maybe Jar Jar. Maybe you know what, Jar Jar. Let's. But it would be cool. With Chester Cheeto, nice Austin. A PNG of Chester Cheeto. I like that. I was imagining that Drew is like CG animation and stuff, and Ace the Wind Rider is assuming they're gonna make it like it's a YouTube thumbnail and search like Chester Cheeto PNG. I like your version. I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of you. I just like the idea that someone at Disney's like, can I get a sign off from my boss about this PNG? No, they didn't. They never cut it. I've heard certain broadcasts have cut it out. But then I heard from someone else they actually had cut it out for like what's it called, syndicated screenings. Because some movies do syndication, which makes a lot of money, and that it was naturally already cut out on some of those. So anyway, like way before Nosferatu. Oh, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Chicken Jockey. Thank you, Chantox Movies for being the first one to do that, or Kevin James. It'd be cool. It would be cool if it was like. Anyway, I can't think of who it else would be. I wouldn't mind Bugs Bunny or whatever. Okay, so this was kind of a cool thing. When I was talking about how I don't like the design of stuff, this would be the culprit. The Predator, Killer of Killers, is an animated anthology film about the Predator. It has that kind of CG / drawn design that What If had that I don't like, and I don't like the design. I don't like usually how it moves, although I like the movement in this trailer, and I do think it's really cool. But well, let me stop because Will sent me. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Said, I tweeted about this and I don't know why Columbus is contentious about this Home Alone 2 scene. It's funny. Trump doesn't know how to get around his own hotel. LMAO. You know what? Good call, dude. Good call. Nice, Will. Yeah, he doesn't need to. Cheers to you, Will. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so what happened with Predators basically is after the success of Prey, which came out, remember Prey? Apparently Disney was like, oh cool, we'll like turn on the waterworks for Predator, and so therefore that's why they're making a animated thing that Dan Trachtenberg helped make. He's a co-director of, and his own Predator Badlands, which comes out in November. So apparently Disney is a lot more invested in this franchise because of the success of Prey, and thus this happened. My only problem with this anthology thing, and I like that Dan Trachtenberg is behind like making a franchise cool and more versatile. Like props to him because so many people just make the direct sequel and do what sort of the studio wants, and I like that he figured out a way to make it more interesting. But it's like you have an anthology animated film and like you could have messed with design, you could have done stuff like that, but I'll give him I'm kind of giving it leeway because like most, and I know like we've talked before, I think in the last time, how I have heard from various movie people, like Scoop people, that more franchises are considering doing this like side streaming animation movie thing, and I hope more people are open to doing different designs and having cooler animation directors, which I don't get the sense from this, but I haven't seen it yet, and I like the Predator in different eras and stuff. I think it's a cool idea. We'll see what's going to happen, but Predator Killer of Killers is definitely something I'm very excited for, and I think it's a cool idea. I just, could it be done better? It's no Animatrix, basically. I think you do different designs and you let other animation like you basically do Star Wars Visions, but you do it in a movie, and it would have been cool. But he got it done, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that, and I think it's cool he did. Like, for real, I think that's really cool. I have not talked about Pattinson. I will talk about Pattinson later. But first, I don't think anyone knows about it, but I found this to be one of the more bizarre entertainment stories, and it was covered in Variety and Hollywood Reporter, so it's not just me finding a random link. and I'm not a Fox News person. I don't even have cable presently. But this guy, Greg Gutfield, who sounds like a fat guy on Captain Planet or something, has a new game show on Fox News called What Did I Miss? And basically, this sounds like a horror movie to me, and I totally see someone having a mental breakdown during the show, where you're isolated from when Trump was inaugurated, and then during the game show, live on the show, they explain to you what has happened in his like first 100 days, and hearing all that in a half-hour format, or really I think would be like 5 minutes, I think would be like can you imagine like I anyway, I don't know if they're thinking like this is pro Trump or like I just think that would be such an information overload. Like what anyway, it just sounds like a real parody. Like we're past parody, we're past satire. It also just sounds like such a like who would approve that? Like to me it's like that sounds literally horrible. I don't know. The fact that this is real is the thing and that people are like, you know, it'd be cool because even if it was good news, wouldn't your brain explode? Or is it going to be like scanners and like I'll tell them all this information, I'm like, and then they'll just like explode? That would be okay. Maybe I get the Gary Gutfield thing now. Like we'll watch people's heads just explode, even if they're mad or upset. That would be cool. But I cannot imagine. I think you have to guess, but then like anyway, I would watch that show. I would watch the first one. I guarantee you they'll make it terrible, but just like what the fuck? Seriously, Fox News? Like that really does sound like a horrific like I don't know, that Black Mirror thing or whatever the fuck. All right, so Jesse Eisenberg. This one I actually didn't know too much about, but Jesse Eisenberg has mentioned, he hasn't mentioned, well he did, but it was announced that his A24 has landed his post Real Pain film. He's going to reteam with most of the, not plausibles here. My volume is low? Or is it just I'm talking low? I don't know. I'll bring up the volume on my mic. Not plausible. Sorry about that. But it is going to be a musical follow-up to I did see a Real Pain. I shot a review and I don't know if it'll ever come out. Maybe it will. I wasn't super happy with it, so I kept putting it off for that reason. But not the movie. The movie's good. I just didn't like my review necessarily. Maybe I might be being too hard on myself. I didn't edit it, so I didn't get to figure out what my issue was. But it's going to be a musical thing. According to the studio, it's about a shy woman who is unexpectedly cast in a community theater musical production, going to extremes as she loses herself in the role. So, like that Christopher Guest movie. What is it? I saw it. Waiting for Guffman. Like Waiting for Guffman, but probably less funny. Apparently, he has Haley Bailey, Havana Rose Liu, I don't know, Bernadette Peters. Oh, that's cool. Bernadette Peters. In a musical? Well, I don't need to announce. To me, we're done. But apparently, they're also talking to Julianne Moore, Paul Giamatti, Bonnie Mulligan, Colton Roy, Lily Cooper. Sounds cool. I don't know. But it sounds like an interesting idea. A24 is really trying to beef up the box office, and I think this could help because Jesse Eisenberg's Real Pain really stuck around there, and I think it's a good choice there for them and for him, and we'll see. I'm also glad that he did. Did you see Real Steel? Yes, I did. I think there's a review of it from back when it came out somewhere. It should be. Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who did Face Smash. Yes, exactly. By the way, I've noticed on some of my older videos, the comments are turned off. I've never done that for anything, so if you ever find that, message me. I'll turn them back on. As well as I forgot to mention this, and then we'll go back to the new stuff. I keep seeing people. I unlisted my MomoCon 2019 videos. I'm probably going to make them public again when MomoCon happens because people watch those a lot, and I'm kind of like, why am I making them unlisted if people are still watching them? So I think regardless of Cosmodore and Nolan, people are obviously watching it, so it's sort of, it'll come out eventually. Sorry, I keep forgetting, but they're unlisted. That you can find them on my vlog videos and stuff like that, or playlists. It's still there, but it's just not. If you search MomoCon things, it's not there. So I will make them public when MomoCon happens. I'll probably one Saturday or something just hit public on all of them. But I don't think there's any. It just at the time people were not liking those people, so understandable, by the way. So the voice of Jimbo, who the original voice, who I didn't write down because I'm stupid, retired, and they've hired a new voice who would be Mo Collins, who's most known for Pamela Hayden, by the way, retired, who's most known for Parks and Rec, will be replacing Jimbo. I fully expect, as long as we're keeping The Simpsons going indefinitely, we will see more recasts. I mean, there's no way around it. People are gonna the Simpsons people have been doing this for way too long. I just don't see, unless they stop making Simpsons episodes, which I think would be honestly for the best. Hello, Medela Butterfly. I really think that would be in our best interest to please stop, but we can't. And every time I suggest that, or if it gets too many Emmys, people get mad at me. So I'll just say, like, The Simpsons should never die ever and should outlive us all. It should be the last piece of art that humanity ever had. It should be a Simpsons episode, and it'll still run 5 more seasons. So that'll be fine. But this, I think she'll be fine. I'd like to hear her voice, but I expect more of these things. There's this Netflix movie. If Austin's still there, put down the Switch controller. K-pop Demon Hunters. We had will they finally recast Phil Hartman's character as St. Powers? I don't think they would. You can never recast. He's pretty. Which main cast will be recast first? I actually think Marge, but Dan Castellano, I don't know how you do that. But will they finally? No, I think you can't ever recast Phil. It would be interesting if they tried, and but you probably, a lot of those characters are very of the time, so I think part of it would be they're different writing wise, and the other part would be that they have a different voice. So it would be a lot to go against. Anyway, cheers to you, Zane Powers. I appreciate the super chat. What was I gonna say? Okay, so Nick Tendo posted the thing about K-pop Demon Hunters, basically saying they haven't really posted anything, and how's this thing gonna draw anyone or build buzz. But my thing with K-pop Demon Hunters, and I've heard other people say that, but to me it's like you see that on Netflix and you're like, ha ha, I will watch this. And it's fun because if someone asks you, at work, or your friend says, what did you see this weekend? It's fun to say K-pop Demon Hunters, rather than saying, what the big show is now or something. And I think, like, when I was a kid when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hit, and it was fun to tell grown-ups, like, what are you into? And say, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because it's a funny, I think the parody of it is, like, completely removed, because it's just a permanent pop culture legacy brand or whatever. But there is a certain fun to saying, if someone asks, what are you watching? You say a ridiculous thing. That's fun. People literally, it happens all the time. And I just think K-pop Demon Hunters will do well based on that. Nick Tendo didn't respond, but Austin wanted me to mention because he has a beef with him that he can explain in the chat. But but anyway, I did mention I do think it'll do well because also K-pop is huge. There's several stores that just sell K-pop in New York, and every time I've been, it's pretty packed. So to me, it's like I think those people will watch K-pop Demon Hunters, and if just the K-pop people do, it'll do fine. Like I don't know who the K-pop people are in K-pop Demon Hunters, but I do know something like that would do well. I'll review it. When does that come? I actually don't know when it comes out, but 2 quick movie things. We keep hearing mix of buzz on Superman. Half is, oh, this movie will stink. Half is, this movie is great. I have no clue, but that is what people are hearing. I notice people will be, I don't know, it's a weird situation with the Superman buzz because I notice reporters are like, this is what I'm hearing, and people are like, well, fuck you. And it's like, well, that's not how it works. But anyway, there hasn't been the best reception. That's like too dorky and weird. But when I hear that, I'm like, that sounds good to me. So I don't know. You can also like, as a lot of these reporters have mentioned, like you could get people who just hate superhero things telling you bad buzz about Superman, and that that could be it. And they've said like, it hasn't come out yet. They don't really know. This is their thing. Oh, hey, Norbert's here. Really, your local comic store closing got replaced by a K-pop place? Jesus. Also, I've been hearing great things about Edgar Wright's Running Man. A lot of people in the movie industry really like Edgar Wright and want him to succeed. Despite, I think it seems like I didn't like Last Night in Soho, and it seems like nobody else did either because almost everyone's like he needs a hit to bring himself back. But supposedly Glenn Powell's great in Running Man, so that's cool. I hope it works out. I mean, who knows? Because we heard The Flash was going to be the greatest movie of all time, and we all know how that turned out. So take those two stories with a grain of salt because The Flash. They could say both suck. I think they're probably the same people who said The Flash was going to be great. All right, so Robert Pattinson is the latest actor. We did this with Pedro Pascal, and I've noticed. Thanks, he's the wind writer. I've noticed that. So it's got to go. That Robert Pattinson getting almost cast or considered for the villain in Dune 3 has started the new but how will his schedule allow this? Even though none of us actually know, and no one will do a breakdown or how it will work. It's just people freaking out, much like the Pedro Pascal thing. Like, how will he do all these things? And then in the end, we're like, I don't fucking know. I'm not his mom. Robert Pattinson supposedly is going to be the villain in Dune. There's all these rumors about, and he has done indie stuff that is going to come out as well. And we keep hearing rumors about Batman, and the particular rumor about Batman, which I think is kind of no problem, Austin. The one thing I'll say this about, I don't know. I don't like this Matt Reeves story because it comes from what's her name, Grace, whatever. Who's that lady? The crazy lady. I'm not trying to. What's her name? Was it Grace or something? Movie news person. She started this, and I've noticed people are giving it validity. Which what is her name? Grace something? Grace? Oh. Yeah, Grace. Beyond I forget her stupid name. But anyway, why would I? I never watch her. But she, Grace Randolph. Okay, sorry. I don't really watch her, but I know supposedly she started this rumor that Matt Reeves supposedly is going through some similar cancer problems as Chadwick Boseman, and that's the reason for the delay. I don't love that it comes from her. I don't love any of this shit with this. The way it started doesn't give me a good feeling. I think it just I don't like that. I now legitimate people are repeating it, which typically in my mind means there's some validity to it. But it also might be because, we talked about a lot with this Matt Reeves stuff, is a lot of these people are asked to talk about Star Wars or Marvel scoops in every week. And if you're told about it every week, you sort of have to make voice rumors just to keep relevancy. I don't really agree with shit like that, but if it's true, I hope he gets better. If it is not true, and everyone was helping this pretty terrible, shitty person get respectability and relevancy, I don't agree with that whatsoever, and I do not like her, and I do not agree with everyone giving her voice to say oh, look at the shit she said, she's so crazy. And I noticed that stopped, and part of me thinks coming up with something that has some sense of legitimacy is a way to do that. But anyway, I've said my piece with that. You know how I felt about the Matt Reeves James Gunn feud, and I guess maybe because almost everyone thought that was pretty dumb, she found another thing to do. But whatever, I said it, so if it ever comes up, you have the context. Yeah, I've never seen her, by the way. I've never seen her in New York. I would take a picture with her. They'll be like, you're a horrible person, by the way. All right, sorry. Will, thank you, Will. All right, hold on. Will says, I'm still bummed Edgar Wright has to do a remake. Sure, it'll be fine, but what happened with the grasshopper junk? I don't know. That's a good point. I don't think that was like so long ago. That movie had a batshit insane premise that perfectly matched Wright's sensibilities. I think Edgar Wright, where are we? First off, cheers to you, Will. Thank you again, man. I think with Edgar Wright, he announces, like, remember his Kolchak the Night Stalker with Johnny Depp? Like, that was going to happen for a while. I think the thing with him is he just announces a lot of directors announce a lot of projects and sees, like, which studio will stick with it. But same with, like, Joe Cornish announced a ton of shit, too. I remember reading the Grasshopper Jungle premise before, but I think, like, he's probably just going what he can get the money for and, you know, keeping himself open and like meeting people, and there's a certain thing to that. But I notice he doesn't announce as many projects as he used to, but it seems like the studio system and executives really like that guy. Understandably, Edgar Wright rules, but I think he knew he needed to have something that could work for him, and I can sort of see Running Man. But actually, yeah, I need to really watch the original. I will review the original when that one comes out, but I noticed for a while Edgar Wright and Joe Cornish had this thing where they would announce projects and not a lot of them came to fruition, unfortunately. But we'll see. But I do remember the Grasshopper Jungle thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is going to be his thing," and then like, I don't think I ever heard anything about that past the announcement. So thanks for bringing that up. I actually have anyway. Thank you for bringing that up, because I someone could probably make a video like the abandoned announced projects of Edgar Wright. Speaking of like movie news that you learn context for later, so I'll talk about the Sean Levy Star Wars film, which I actually hadn't the script, and then oh man, it's getting late, so we're okay. We're sort of okay. We hear about the Sean Levy, and we only have one segment tonight, so we should be good. We only have I heard about this, and I heard about an interesting thing that Jesse Plemons was up for the Sean Levy Star Wars thing, and almost everything I read or heard about this, they'd always bring out, well, Jesse Plemons was up for Force Awakens, and then they threw out, because he was up for Kylo Ren, and it was down to him and Adam Driver, which I was like, I think Adam Driver was really well cast in that, and I do remember he was up for Star Wars at the time, and no one was sure, you know, we didn't know who Kylo Ren was then, but it's crazy. I love hearing later, like, oh yeah, this is what he was for. So that was interesting. Supposedly he's up for the Sean Levy thing. We learned today that Mikey Madison, like, I think at the beginning of the day, it was like she was offered Star Wars, and then at the end of the day, we're like, yeah, but she turned it down. We don't know what role. Supposedly it is divorced from the thing. We know Ryan or from the Skywalker stuff, and we know Ryan Gosling's involved. We also know Jesse Plemons was cast as the Philip Seymour, or is looking. They're considering him for the Philip Seymour Hoffman part in this Hunger Games prequel. So yeah, just to go through things quickly, I keep hearing, but not from a real bigger source, so I'm going to hesitant. But if this becomes a story later, I will talk about it again. But that the Tomb Raider show at Amazon reportedly is kind of dead, despite Phoebe Waller-Bridge and her huge Amazon deal, which has been questioned for a while now, considering she hasn't really made anything since she's been signing these deals. Like, Fleabag is great, and I love Fleabag, but she, you know, her Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing didn't work out. A lot of the projects she's tried hasn't worked out, and I'm a little surprised Prime is continually giving her these huge deals when, like, Fleabag's a good show, but it's not. Did it do that well? Like, I don't know. I do kind of question what's going on with that, and I think it's probably that, because a lot of people are like, why does she keep getting these deals? Like, what are you know, it'd be one thing if she'd made like these weird artsy shows that got awards, you're like, I don't get the amount, but she's making something. Like, I don't get when they're not making anything. I'm like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't. Anyway, supposedly there was no script. She takes too long to write and all that stuff. I don't know if that's true, since these were all like, the most legitimate one I could find was PCGamer.com. I don't think it's that true, but I keep hearing about it. So we'll see. No, Abrams is known for signing big deals and not following through. It's like, what? Remember when he announced the Your Name remake, which never happened? And you see, like, anytime he's threatened, like, we will cancel your deal, you get a slew of Bad Robot announcements. He's, like, known for, like, God, what a loss of potential. All right. Okay. I'll just bring up the James Bond stuff. We learned that Alfonso Cuarón is, and he confirmed it also. Alfonso Cuarón himself confirmed it, that he's in discussion to direct James Bond. Many people think that's why David Heyman got the gig, because he said, I can get you Cuarón. And I think most studios would love to have Alfonso Cuarón direct a movie in their franchise. And the fact that Cuarón probably knows, he can have a huge hit and be able to do his own thing, and which I think he should. He's a great director, but the fact that he hasn't directed anything in a long time, movie-wise, he had that Apple Plus show, but it would be a huge get for Bond, and I think it could really work out. If they do indeed that all works out, but it's still like in discussions and stuff. But I think, he would be great, especially like he's so good at action, and I think Bond's really been about those tracking shot things, and there's no one better at that. So I would love to see Cuarón do a Bond film. I hope it works out, but that is where that is leading right now. And before we talk about trailers, the James Cameron AI thing is distressing. I don't agree with any AI stuff. I saw there was an AI dubbed movie that's going to be coming out in theaters. A lot of people are saying he wants to be in front of it rather than not for it. I don't love that Cameron was for this. And he used to be so against AI, and I don't know what the fuck happened with him. But we are where we are, and it's upsetting. So just get Soderbergh. I don't think they'd get Soderbergh. I think he could make a good Bond movie, but will they do it? Probably not. All right, let's do a bunch of trailers, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll talk about Ryan Coogler's locks. All right, so there was the Tron Ares trailer. Looked like the more serious version of Pixels, but it is pretty much what Tron Legacy was hinting at, and they did it, and I don't know. I don't know. Thing is, like, aesthetically, Tron looks cool. As movies, they're not very good. I don't know. I'm like not as obsessed with it. I feel like each one I get super into, and then I'll watch it and go, that's not good. And then I forget about it. And then I like the soundtrack to Tron Legacy. And I like how in the first Tron, like, they made everything super black. So it looks like kind of computer circuits at night and stuff, the city. But it looks fine, whatever. Jared Leto's in it. The Mission Possible trailer for the final whatever Mission Possible looks good, but I don't love trailers that are just a bunch of clips from other movies. Like, show us give us a real trailer. Like this, it's a bullshit thing. It looks cool, but there was no big stunt to rival the other ones. It didn't really pop out to me. It was just like, okay, there's another Mission Possible. That's fine for me, but how are you going to get other people in? I thought he's, whether it's the motorbike thing or whether it's the hang off the building or whatever, there used to be things to get people in, and I feel like they're not doing that. Maybe they gave up, but I don't know. The Eddington trailer. This is the new film from, is it Ari Aster, I think? I actually heard from a lot of people on Blue Sky who have read the script, said that it was not very good, and when they saw the trailer, thought maybe he could. I know particularly Drew McWeeny said that, but I saw other people say it as well. That the script was not very good, and they thought maybe he could direct his way out of it, and then they saw the trailer and felt differently. So that's kind of the buzz on Eddington that I've heard. Why Nine Inch? I keep seeing these Why Nine Inch Nails. I think it's just because they could get someone who's techno-y and is a name, and they wanted a name person. But like, yeah, I agree. Like, why not get like a techno person? Like Nine Inch Nails and Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross kind of do too many things as it is. I kept getting requests for a 28 Years Later trailer. It wasn't really that much different. Although I've noticed, like, that comes out in June. I've never seen a movie have posters up around New York City in more advanced than that movie. It's pretty crazy with that. For 28 years later, I found the trailers to be okay. I was gonna see it, but I've yet to see the subsequent trailers, so not really popped for me. The Life of Chuck looked like some schmaltzy bullshit to me. I don't know. It wasn't really. I'm glad for Mark Hamill. Good for him. But other than that, and then the Poshian Scheme, directed the new Wes Anderson, looks fun. I think he's sort of in this Wes Anderson rut where he just like is sort of like what Woody Allen used to be, where he just like makes these kind of movies and some of them pop and some of them don't, but he just keeps doing it, and that's sort of what this is. Bryan Cranston and Tom Hanks, though, like, oh man, remember when people thought Bryan Cranston was going to be a big movie star and it never really happened? Ah, well. All right, I am going to take a break, use the bathroom. Then I will talk about Ryan Coogler's first short film, and then we'll do questions, and then that'll be it. Yes. Okay. All right. I'm going to. Oh, and Michael Cera. People are really excited about the Michael Cera thing. I noticed, and he did look cool. He did look cool. So anyway, I'll be right back, and then we will talk about Ryan Coogler's first film, Locks. Be right back, everybody. Okay, guess who's back? It's me, the guy you're watching. Um, what? Anyway, um, I realized something. Hold on. Let me bring myself back here. I realized I was gonna do this. Okay, can you just work for me, Jesus? I was gonna do this thing if we got past $20 in super chats. I would do the lights thing. So I'm gonna do the lights thing where I talk for a minute, and then when we do the segment, I won't. Are you doing it? Okay. I will turn it back to a regular thing. But I realized at 3 I'll be awake for 24 Ratboy Mickey. That's not a good idea. Go to bed. I do not endorse you doing that. So anyway, I apologize. I totally forgot about that. I actually shot a review with that going the whole time, and it sort of works out, but I made the other lighting too dark, and I noticed with the beard it's hard to do lip sync because it gets really, anyway, it's a whole, so if you do lip sync, you kind of notice what makes lips point out, and I was like, I need to be careful, trim this part because I can't match the lips as well. Anyway, I wanted to bring this up. So there's this guy, this YouTube channel. Hey, I get work on this stuff, but take care of yourself. You need that brain to make stuff, man. But yeah, you get anyway. The reason I remember the super chat thing is I usually do a thing where I say, hey, if anyone's to do a super chat, this is your last chance because the show's ending, and I realized I didn't do that, so I apologize, and thank you very much who's giving a super chat so far. If anyone wants to, this is your last chance. But there's this YouTube channel called Dancing with Ghosts, and it's this guy, and to me he looks like someone to be friends with Pan Pizza, and I even commented like I feel like I would have met this guy on Pizza Party or something, and nobody responded, and I was like, I guess like maybe no one knows who this guy is. Anyway, or he doesn't know Pizza Party or something, but not that it wasn't that big or nothing, but anyway, I like him okay. I don't like everything he does, but he does like touch his face and stuff occasionally, and that makes me feel good because I am fidgety and I will do that. So I'm gonna drink some water. And I'm trying to think what else. Is there anything I was supposed to mention? I rewatched Batman Forever, and it's still okay. All right. I'm sure someone's like, finally, he mentioned it. All right. I mean, it's been a crazy day. I'm always glad to like end a dumb day with y'all because it makes it feel a little better. All right. Oh, before I talk about the segment, I'll change the lights after this. I'm going to drink this just to keep me awake, but if anyone wants to help me do that, that would be appreciated as well. I don't know how common knowledge this is, so I'm curious if anyone can guess this. This is my other trivia thing I was waiting for this part to do. In the short we're going to talk about, I will repeat myself because obviously, if it comes up video later and all that stuff. Ryan Coogler met Ludwig Granson. Please correct me about that. But he's the guy who did the music for Black Panther. He did the Mandalorian theme, everything like that. But someone else who is a major entertainment person was in the same class as them. Can you tell me who that person is? I'm really curious if y'all know this. I do know who it is. They have said this, so it's not speculation. I do actually know. What's his name? Ludwig Göransson, I think. Anyway, there is another person. They're a big person. You all have definitely know who this person is. I won't reveal their gender. Was in their same year as those two. Can you tell me who it is? It's just a fun question. I'm just curious if people know this. I will tell it after the segment. How about that? If anyone guesses it, I will tell you. They're very notable. That's all I'll say. All right. If anyone's there on the, are we stopping? Oh no, we're not. Hold on. Where's the, okay. It's not me. I didn't go to I didn't go to fucking. Was it USC? I did not go to USC. Oh man, I'm curious. This is gonna. It's not Pan. It's no one I am friends with. I don't think. Yeah, it's not. It is somebody. You. I. Oh man, I'm kind of excited now. All right. Now let's talk about. All right, so we're going to talk about Ryan Coogler's first short, or at least the first one listed on his IMDb, and that we are aware of. He could have fucked around with a video camera in high school or something, or in a previous school, but this is the first one we are aware of, at least. Um, this is Ryan Coogler's Locks. This is his first, I guess, film at USC Film School that we know about, that we can find, and it is listed. It is also his first collaboration with Ludwig Göransson, I think, who would go on to do the music for his other things like Black Panther. I think he did. Did he do Creed and stuff? I'm not sure, but I know he did Black Panther, and he obviously did the Mandalorian theme, and he did music for Community, and he did stuff with Donald Glover. He's a really cool person. But nobody's gotten it yet, by the way. But anyway, this is an interesting film, but it is more the Fruitvale Station Ryan Coogler than the populist big blockbuster director Ryan Coogler, who I sort of like more. But basically what this is Locks is not actually about keys and locks, which I was dumb enough to think most of for a little bit in the film it was, until I looked at Sarah and went, oh, I don't think it's about he's not going to pick a lock or something like that. But it's about this guy who, you see him get up, you see him walk around his neighborhood, you see him look at things, people say hi to him, and you see this guy, he has dreadlocks, he has a hoodie, all this stuff, you walk around, you see him sort of envision himself with a little girl, also with dreadlocks, and then go, I mean, I kind of have to spoil this, but it's not, I think it's okay, sorry. Then he decides to basically shave his head, and it's revealed that his younger sister has a shaved head, is real. Oh, cool. Thank you for saying I am real. To show solidarity with her, but it also gets into, which I actually think is what I like about this film is it shows like how much of your hairstyle and how much of the way you look, and particularly like dreadlocks, which is a thing that as a white person I have the distinct knowledge to not really comment on in a shitty way, but it is, I'm not going to say something shitty or stupid. What I'm going to say is I think there are certain hairstyles that matter to you as both culturally, and matter to you as a person, and matter to you a lot in terms of your identity and everything like that. And I think even if you were shaving your head for, a good reason, which is for his little sister and for his family and stuff, that's still something, that's a hard walk. You know what I mean? And I thought that was interesting, filming that and understanding like he is doing the right thing and what family represents and love for family and everything like that, which I think this film represents. And I do think like that is something, the weight of your image and who you are and stuff is something that goes through all of Coogler's other films. I have not seen Sinners when I'm shooting this, but if you look at, from Black Panther to Creed to Fruitvale Station, to even Wakanda Forever, they're each about your identity and what you represent, with what you represent to that culture, and what you represent to your family, what you represent to yourself. And I thought that was all enclosed in Locks, and it really hits you. Embletti, I love how you just spelled Andy Serkis. No one's gotten it yet. I love how this film encapsulated all that, and it kind of shows. I mean, it's very much a early film school short film, which is what it is, and you're supposed to learn, and I'm not criticizing for that. But it's interesting to see what he does. It does have a part of Coogler stuff that I don't like, actually, because I like him as a director. I think I've generally given him good reviews. I'm not the biggest fan of Fruitvale Station, because I feel that when that character is, and person in real life is shot by the cop, the film leading up to that is like, well, he was a really good person, and he was hanging out with this kid. I think it's his kid, or it's his, I forget. There was a kid he was hanging out with. I don't know the relationship with it. But like it very overly shows that, well, he was a good guy and he was trying to turn things around and stuff. And my thing with that is, morally, I don't need him to be a good guy. He should not have been shot by the police officer. It does not. I don't love how morally. And in this also, it's like, oh, all this is going on, but this guy is a good person. In my mind, I don't think the narrative needs to oversell that he's a good person. I don't love that tendency of Coogler's, because morally, I'm like, I don't think he should have been shot at all. Like, it didn't matter if he, you know, woke up right before he went on the train to a New Year's party. None of that mattered to me at all. He should not have been shot. I don't love the whole like, well, he was a good person and therefore he shouldn't have been shot. He was a person and therefore he shouldn't have been shot. Is my thing with it, basically. I understand what he's trying to do, but anyway, I don't love that about him when he's doing the more realistic drama stuff. Because like, I don't know, I actually think in terms of like Creed or Black Panther, Adonis Creed is not always a great person, and does, even though he's motivated and he becomes a better person, does stupid and shitty things. And I think when Coogler was able to have more complex main characters in a sense, or have more nuance to them, it works a lot better than him trying to say like, well, this person is a good person. I understand the tendency though, and I think it works better in this actually than in Fruitvale, although I think Fruitvale has other things and is a good movie and well directed. I just, the morals of it I disagree with, but I think we both agree that he shouldn't have been killed, basically. Anyway, sorry, this is my long time like whatever, a long time issue with Fruitvale Station, but I do like what he did with it. I thought particularly sorry, I need to find I think his name is Darnell Bird. Does it, no, that's Dante's. Why is Dante's friend? Okay, that's just obnoxious. Like, what the fuck, man? Where's Dante? Okay, why is he listed in the cast list? Oh my god. Okay, the guy who plays Dante, who I believe is the main character, Turin Robinson, I thought did a good job, and he never really says anything. There's no dialogue, and I thought he was a good, actor. He's been in a lot of shorts, but he was a good actor in it. I thought he did it well. It's a hard role to do when you're not really speaking, and I thought he was really good. I like this film. It was a nice short, and it kind of shows you do get a sense and continuity of Coogler as a director and who he would be, and I definitely see a line from this to Fruitvale, although there are two other shorts that he made after this one. I do want to kind of continue the Coogler thing, and maybe every time he has a movie, I'll do a short film. So, I'm surprised nobody got this. The person who is in Ryan Coogler's class, who is a notable person, who I think you all know, is Lindsay Ellis. That who is in his USC film class was Lindsay Ellis. It's real. I'm not joking. All right. I'm surprised people didn't know that. Oh, because she revealed in an interview, and I was like, say what? Actually, when she first said that, I was like, but why are you better then, though? Anyway, sorry, I know that's shitty, but come on. All right, let's do. I really thought people would get that. Anyway, sorry, I thought people knew that. All right, this is your last chance for the super chats. I'll let this go. Because it did get past 20 twice, so you get this whole stuff. Anyway, unless she lied about it. If she lied, then I don't know. I've never heard Coogler. I was actually almost tweeted something out. It's like, I think Ryan Coogler's the biggest director I can think of that has a connection, is 1 degree away from Doug Walker. I almost did that, but I did. Maybe I will. All right. I'm not doing the show over, Austin. You can just rewind it. All right. Speaking of Austin. Sorry, I was almost gonna. Anyway. Shut up. What are you. Okay. So. Did you really. Motherfucker. Give me a second. Sorry, everybody. Nope. I did it. Where are we? Okay, sorry. Hold on. I clicked the wrong thing and now can't find the questions. Anyway, how are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing good. I have to specifically, I need to read this one question. Oh, there's a new. I almost missed that one from Cineram, so I'm actually glad I did this. This kind of worked out, you know. Was there not a tomorrow? What? What's going on? I thought I did a tomorrow on Patreon. Did I not do Movie Crap is Tomorrow on Patreon? Maybe I didn't. Well, now I feel stupid. I guess I didn't do. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Where is. What the fuck? I thought. I'm so lost now. Give me a second. Oh man, I hope so. Nothing. Lisa Winwriter. I thought. Yeah, it's right. Why is it not? Go to post. Okay, that was weird. Patreon. This is making me feel like crazy. I was like, wait a minute, I definitely did that. Alright, sorry. It was not coming up in. No, I did do one yesterday. Oh, it's from April 3rd? Oh my god. I almost did. Oh my god. I didn't do it. Okay. Why didn't I not do that? Oh my god. Sorry, yesterday was nuts and today and. Alright. Let me go back. Let me figure out Austin's question. Austin wanted to go first. I fucked up. I'm sorry to the patrons. I only did one. Now I feel really embarrassed about myself. Alright. Where is... Alright, so Austin said... Here, we'll do Austin. Okay. Let me write questions below. If anyone wants to do a final super chat, that would be appreciated. However, Austin, who gets the first question, said... hi Jim, hope you're doing well. What a great show. I might not be here at this moment. You're reading these questions first, as you promised, since I originally was going to be read first. April Fools, but you forgot. Also, I'm not here because I went to a cookie class today. Anyway, my question is, which hopefully is being read first and likely coming up, will be Jordan Bouchard, Cineram, Nathaniel Fogo question. Not sure in that order. Then a Cordenbrand question, which will be the first YouTube question. My question is, Ryan Coogler has tackled many genres as a filmmaker, drama, sports, action, and now horror. What genre would you like to see him tackle in the future? I've heard a lot of people say musical, which I haven't seen the new thing. I think I wouldn't mind him doing a crime thriller, to be honest. I've heard a lot of people say musical, but I would like there to be a crime thriller. Yeah, I'd say crime thriller or romance. I think those would be the two. I'm not going to say, but if I see Sinners, I sort of feel the musical part, even though I have not seen Sinners. Nathaniel Fogo, what's the most bizarre experience you've had at a movie theater? I would say The Devil Inside, where the audience sort of rejected the movie. I would say that, probably. That there's no other one. So, okay. And there's a Cineroom question. And I saw your question, but I will answer this one first. As of today, 5 trailers for Thunderbolts, too much. And what do you think Elena will be getting up to in Doomsday? I don't know what she will be, but I do think they're kind of freaked out about Thunderbolts, so thus why that's why they're doing so much promo, because I think they're fucking scared. And if you even consider the casting announcement, I'm not sure what she will be, but I think she'll be more of a leader than we realize. But then I don't think she's making it past those two Avengers at all. Okay, Cinerama. Before I get to Carmen's, I will actually answer Cinerama's first. Said so last week there was no movie crap, none, not on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. This week there's a show on Wednesday and it's announced the day of, and I'm like, dude, I apologize. I really thought the tomorrow thing, which was on everywhere else but Patreon, went through, so I apologize for that, Syndrome. That is a fuck up on my end, so apologies. But it was on the community post. It was on Twitter and Blue Sky. Work's been tough and life's been crazy, and I had assumed I did it for some reason, and I didn't. And I thought I did. Anyway, I'm gonna have to make sure it doesn't like go out tomorrow or something. But apologies for that. I think I just fucked up. Is basically. So I'm sorry about that. I will double triple check next time. Sorry. I'm the only person who runs this channel, so that's why sometimes you're like, why does it take it so long? It's like it's just me. So I apologize for that, Syndrome. As one of my longtime viewers, I'm sorry about that. I feel kind of bad. I really didn't realize the tomorrow thing wasn't on there until 5 minutes ago or something, and I feel super stupid. Anyway, Zane Power says, wait, I'm confused. Where's your 3-hour tangent about how horrible society and politics are that I'm used to in my live stream? Oh, sorry. I should do that more. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I mean, I don't know. Cornbread. Hey, Jim. Great job answering Austin's question first. You did that, right? Anyway, with the Predator animated film, do you think that and Badlands both being 2025 will hurt Bo's chances? No, I think the animated film will hype up Badlands. And I don't think we'll see a trailer for Badlands until the weekend the Killer of Killers comes out. I think that's what it's called. Whatever it is, that will happen. Ace the Wind Rider. What's your spirit animal? I guess, I don't know, a cat maybe? I don't know. I guess yeah, whatever. Jordan Salafalo. What William Wilder movies do you recommend to watch? William Wilder. I'll look this up because some of these guys have a lot of William Wilder. You mean Billy Wilder? Or who directed Ben-Hur? Is that the director you mean? William Wyler. Okay. William. There we go. I forgot he was German. Roman Holiday. If we're talking about the William Wyler, I would say Roman Holiday is kind of one of my favorites. His Wuthering Heights is okay. What else do we have here? I've seen a bunch of these. I mean, Roman Holidays, I think, are a really good movie. The Letter is also good, and Dead End is fine. I'm gonna go The Letter or Roman Holiday. I don't see anything else that's popping out. I've seen a good, like Jezebel. I don't really like. Which I've seen. Dodsworth is like fine. I'd say those. Some of these I haven't seen, but I'll say that. I mean, Ben-Hur is obviously a classic, but you don't need me to. Oh, Detective Story. Is that with Kirk Doug? Oh, Detective Story is pretty good. I would go Detective Story, and it's on the Internet Archive. Detective Story, Roman Holiday, the ones I said there. Oh, The Big Country is good too. Sorry, I'm just looking at his filmography. This is what this live stream is now. Favorite Grace Randolph story? I don't. Jesus, that lady. I don't know. How does she have she has that apartment with that crazy view? I'm always like, what's going on with that? Anyway, she's definitely got money. You can tell. Oh wait, there's a super chat in here. There's all sorts of stuff going on. Okay. Hold on. Where were we? Jacob Shelter. Hey Jim, just wanted to ask if you'll give a watch the movies of Filipino actress Nora Andor someday. She recently passed. So I don't really know her, but if it's in the movie review vote or something like that, I would be interested. But I'll try to look her up later. But I don't know, just because of time and stuff. But if it's in the movie review vote, I'd be more than happy to. But I'll look her up after this. I'll try to. But I don't know much about her, unfortunately. Cornbread. Last stream you had conflated Minecraft and Borderlands as being games people say are popular and questioned the film's debut. How do you feel now with it saving cinema? I mean, I was curious how it would do, but I mean, I don't think I was too. I mean, no one really saw it coming because the estimates were bad, but I'm happy it worked out. I'm glad to be wrong if it works out. Embla T, who really killed the Westerns? I've heard people say Heaven's Gate, but I honestly think it's oversaturation because like there are 3 channels I can find on my TV that have old Westerns. If you think it's basically what is happening with Marvel and Star Wars, but it happened over a long time, is like there was so much of it. I also think it's like you had the old Westerns and then you have the spaghetti Westerns, and I think like there's just too much of it, and I think a lot of directors got out of it, and they were expensive, and there weren't all those things set up. So how do you feel about the Switch 2? It's expensive and I'm not getting it. That's how I feel about the Theta. Austin, how do I change the channel? I point the TV room at a dog walker and it does nothing. Nice. Medela Butterfly, first off, thank you. A $2 super chat. Thank you. Wacky Races, should they do a movie or a new show? I wouldn't mind Wacky Races with a cool director like George Miller, but cheers to you, Medela Butterfly. I appreciate it. Question, favorite movie to watch on Easter? It usually ends up being Hop, unfortunately, but I would say Prince of Egypt, or I end up watching part of 10 Commandments, even though I don't love it. Jordan Slavo, have you watched the channel Be Kind Rewind? Do you have any favorite? Oh my god, I love that channel. I'm slowly watching the 1950s video because it's really long. Wow. No, she's legitimately a great YouTube channel. I can't think of it right now, but I would say just watch her stuff. She's really cool. I'm not as into the Oscars as she is, but she does such great work with it. I feel like there's something in there, but the latest one is good so far that I've watched. The Hitchcock Blondes one was really great that recently came out. When she takes different, like, goes through each of the performances of the best actress race, she really does a great job. So maybe the Joan Crawford ones. I'm just gonna sit, but I'm sure there's others. Zane Powers, now that outtakes of the Arthur remake are being used as evidence against Russell Brown in his essay case, does that movie finally have real worth to society? I guess it does. Which Stephen King movie adaptation would do better this year, The Long Walk or The Running Man? Well, or The Life of Chuck, which is also it. I think right now I'm going to say The Running Man because I haven't even seen a trailer for The Long Walk. Doesn't The Long Walk also have Mark Hamill? So Mark Hamill's in 2 Stephen King things? That's interesting. Jordan Slafo, do you think actors are meant to play certain roles like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix? Yeah, I would agree with that, Jordan Slafo. Cornbread, chasing the Predator question I asked. What other Fox IP do you think Disney could be leveraging with animated experimental films? I mean, the obvious one would be Alien. But like a Speed sequel that's animated would be cool. I'm surprised a Speed sequel where you got Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves together again has never happened. I've always heard they've tried, and I don't know what, because I'm always like, that would be cool at this point, do a legacy, but you don't have Hopper. But still, I think getting those two would be fun. Zane Powers, have you ever had a person in a friend group that nobody actually liked, but they hang out with you regardless? No comment. Embla T, another Embla T, sorry. Will Stuckman Shelby Oaks be Kino? It's coming out this August. Kino? I mean, I guess you mean good or something. I don't know. I'm surprised a trailer. I really thought a trailer was going to come out when I did that thing. When I talked about it, I thought, oh, the trailer's going to come out at the same time, and this will be. Or what's your favorite dinosaur? Probably one of the big ones. That's a good question. That's a good icebreaker. Zane Powers, what's a hot take you agree with? In principle, would find the most basic ass service level take ever. I guess that pizza's your favorite food, because I do like pizza a lot. Ratboy Mickey, Jim, can I have an apology? You didn't do anything wrong, but it would be nice. I'm sorry, Ratboy Mickey. I hope you keep going. Another question, Jim, can I have an early happy birthday? It's on 420. Oh, okay, happy birthday, Ratboy Mickey. Same Powers, thoughts on sloths? And too slow. Another Ratboy Mickey, would you be a centaur or a live action or alive with a horse head? I guess a centaur. Another Kevin Smith or Martin Scorsese? Martin Scorsese. Oh, you meant Billy Wilder. Okay, Jordan Slafalo. I recently watched The Apartment, and that is very good. But Sunset Boulevard is pretty amazing. And also Ace in the Hole, which was the inspiration for the Bart down the well thing, Ace in the Hole is fucking great. There's so much good Billy Wilder though. If you're gonna do Billy Wilder, I would say see the hit, like all of his biggest stuff, because you're not gonna go wrong. So many great screenwriting lessons from him. If you get into him, then see the films he wrote that he didn't direct. But I would say Sunset Boulevard, Ace in the Hole, The Apartment. I'm sure I'm forgetting something because he made a. He was a great one. He was a great one. But you got a William Wyler part 2, so you know you got all sorts of stuff here. Nathaniel Fogo, what's the next video game movie Jack Black should feature in, or it to be successful? Cubert. He should be. Is it Cubert? Yeah, he should be Cubert. I like Cubert. I like that guy. Oh my god, how many questions we have? I might just have to stop because I'm getting a little tired here. Where? What? Hold on. Okay. Zane Powers, when was the moment you realized that companies don't actually care about making art or making things so reality? They just want to make money. I mean, I think when I was a kid, to be out like a teenager. Cornbread, Wish is the only major Disney animated film you have not reviewed since like the start of your channel. When are you finally going to get to it? I don't care, but someone might. I just saw it late. Yeah, I probably should. You're right. I should get to that. Yeah, that is true. That's the only one I haven't done. Black Sox Winkle. What if Kevin James was in the new Predators? That would be cool. Sorry about that. Rap Boy Mickey, Stuck on an Island. What are you watching? Detective Pikachu or Mrs. Doubtfire? Probably Mrs. Doubtfire. I was thinking like the one video game movie they really should do is an actual Pokemon movie with Ash, Misty, and Brock. Like that's what we really need, to be honest with you. What's your favorite fruit? I guess apple, because I have that every day. Have your cats ever given you a permanent injury, Zane Powers? No, but they've scratched my foot a few times. Oh my god, how did I not talk about the DreamWorks movie? Ooh. I mean, it's cool. We're running out of time, so I don't know how that... Fuck. How that... Did that get deleted or something? How did I miss that? I thought I had that in here. Did I just not talk about that? Fuck, dude. Oh, it just didn't get in here. How did it not get in here? That's impaired. Well, I'm glad that they're making a new one. I apologize for that. Thank you for bringing up Juan Don Natty. MLT, I think... no, that's not a question. Do you eat Planters peanuts while watching Electric State? Oh, no, I get the joke. Alright, let's do... Jeez, there's a lot of questions tonight. Which, thank you, I'm surprised. Question, where do you draw the line between someone who doesn't want to be irritated with frequent soul-crushing news and trying to remain ignorant? Oh, I think just like trying to regulate. I'll go from this Jacob Shelter question down. I think we're kind of done for the night. Sorry, I'm getting super tired. Apologies. If you want me to answer your question, just go to the Discord or leave a comment down below. I will answer your question. Zane Powers got in an argument that someone who said silent movies are inherently flawed because they don't have sound, as that falls into universal flaws. What? Thoughts? I think that person is fucking stupid. Like, I've heard people say that. It's like not real movies. That's just how you perceive movies, but movies came from that. That doesn't mean it is flawed or wrong. It's just different. And I don't like when people have to confront something that's outside of their demo. They immediately freak out and have a reaction. Zane Powers, why not post a question cut off comment instead of getting too tired to finish the law? I should do that. Well, because I can't do everything, I guess. Cornbread, should we start doing cutoff? Okay, yeah, maybe. Okay, that's sorry I wasn't here last week. All right, so thank everyone for the super chats. Let me do a thank you to everyone who gave one. Come on. I want to thank Bloxiox, Winkle, Super Adusky, Zane Powers, Austin, Will, Zane Powers, Will, and Modelo Butterfly. Thank you very much, everyone, for the super chats. I really appreciate it. the people who did. Cheers to you all. I will try to do the $20 thing, but I had to go this whole time. I think that made up for it. Anyway, cheers to you all. I will see you all next week. I think it'll probably be a Thursday show. I will do a Patreon thing. I am really embarrassed that I didn't do that. That's... Don't feel good about that. But, I'm not sure if there'll be a video tomorrow. We'll see. It would be nice to just roll till Saturday, but we'll see what happens. Either way, I think we've had a good run. I think we had a good night. I think this was a good show. Thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you get to see a good movie soon. I hope you have a good Easter, or at least a good weekend. I will see you all next time. Have a good night, and hope to see you on the next stream, and I hope you like the next video. Alright. Peace, and subscribe if you would like to.